Unbiased Trading here, and how do you know if your strategy will survive live trading? Today we are going over why you need to walk forward your trading strategies and what it is. Also, no, this isn't just running them on a live demo account for 1 to 2 months, but we will be going over that step. We'll be going over walk forward testing, which is also known as out of sample testing. Now, what is it? Walk-forward testing is a statistical method used to evaluate the effectiveness of a trading strategy by testing it on a new set of data that was not used to develop the strategy. Walk-forward testing is a type of back testing that helps traders assess the robustness of their strategies over a extended period of time. I would normally recommend about 5 years. The process of walk-forward testing involves dividing the historical data into two parts, the in-sample data and the out-of-sample data. The in-sample is used to develop and optimize the strategy, while the out-of-sample data is used to validate the strategy's performance. The in-sample data is typically used to create and refine the trading strategy using various parameters. This could be technical indicator values, entry and exit requirements, and any other variables that would be linked to your strategy. This is also known as degrees of freedom, and if you'd like, you can go visit my Twitter and I'll have a topic about this. The values are then optimized over this in-sample data using a combination of methods. Now, this will depend on what platform you're using. You could either build it yourself, or you could have it done on a platform like NinjaTrader, for example, for futures. But you can do this through Python for equities and small caps. Now, this is where you're picking the values that provided the highest amount of X. This could be net profit, profit factor, win rate, really any of those. Once the strategy is developed and optimized, it is then tested on an out-of-sample data to evaluate its performance. By using a new set of data that was not used to develop the strategy, you can get a more accurate picture of how well the strategy will perform in the future on live data. The reason for this is when you break down what is live data is just unseen data or data you have not optimized for. So what we are doing here is we're doing a set amount of time where we're optimizing and a set amount of time of unseen or pretend live data to see how it would have performed in that actual time period. And then we're repeating that, and we'll kind of go over that in a quick second. Now, the out-of-sample data is typically divided into multiple blocks of periods, and the strategy is tested on each block in a rolling forward manner. This approach helps you simulate how the strategy would have performed in the future as new data becomes available, and the results of these are all then added up and giving you an overall assessment of performance. Now, this can normally be done straight through the platform, such as like NinjaTrader. But yeah, this approach helps to avoid overfitting, or really known as curve fitting, where a strategy is designed too closely to past data, leading to poor performance in actual live markets or general markets. Now be careful, we want to make sure that we're doing a validation process. So this is an essential process of confirming the effectiveness of your trading strategy. You want to test your hypothesis through an out-of-sample test, which then verifies it in your in-sample data, which is then getting a prediction kind of flow of it. If the results of your out-of-sample test don't match the predictions from your in-sample data, you should avoid going live with your trading strategy, or if you see very poor performance in your walk-forward test or out-of-sample test compared to your back test. You may need to retest or refine or wait before implementing it. I would also be careful here, as over-iterating will mean you'll always come to the perfect results, which will then never work on live trading. I will discuss this a bit further in my backtesting bootcamp. However, it's quite a long topic. Feel free to research it yourself as well. However, there are also some other concerns when dividing your dataset into two parts. You must not be tempted to cheat or by looking on your out-of-sample data results before the in-sample data. This behavior can result in over-optimization or curve fitting, which can lead to poor performance in the future. This also can be an issue if your out-of-sample and in-sample data is leaking over. So if your in-sample data is somehow leaking over to out-of-sample data, this is going to be quite a nuanced part of it, but I have seen it happen when people have set up Python code incorrectly. Now, what are the actual benefits of this? It's crucial to avoid overfitting, also known as curve fitting, in your backtests and optimizations. Overfitting occurs when you design a trading strategy system too closely to historical data, making it ineffective in the future. To prevent overfitting, it is essential to focus on signals instead of noise. Walk-forward optimization is a great technique to reduce this overfitting and really test the robustness of your trading strategy. Many inexperienced traders will often spend too much time optimizing every parameter on every historical data set they use, which will then lead to having the most optimized parameters, which will just lead to terrible results in live data because you are just optimizing for past data, and there will always be the most optimal results. but we're not trying to optimize on past data. We're trying to provide an actual good strategy that can survive live trading. And sometimes the best results are not actually the best results to take live. Now, Walk Forward provides you with a more realistic assessment of your trading strategy's performance, since it is tested on new data that was not already optimized for. It helps avoid overfitting and curve fitting, as we've mentioned, helps you identify the robustness of your trading strategy. If your Walk Forward test has terrible results compared to your back test, that's a clear sign that something, you've maybe over-optimized, you've maybe overfitted, or it could be like another general problem. If they do pass though, it can provide you with a huge amount of confidence in your trading strategy, as to some extent, to a theoretical extent, it has survived some kind of live trading, and this will normally provide a lot more confidence. Now, what else should you do to avoid overfitting and ensure that you have the effectiveness of your trading strategy? Now, there's a couple things you need to make sure to account for. This could be like slippage and commission fees, and potentially locate fees if you're shorting. Now, you want to make sure, as we've mentioned, run a walk forward optimization to test your optimized parameters on out of sample data continuously. You want to run a strategy in a demo or a low dollar risk account to trial run it. I would normally recommend 1 to 3 months, and then see how it does and compare it to your backtest and walk forward test. Lastly, a Monte Carlo simulation can be a great final addition to the testing of the robustness of your strategy. In conclusion, overfitting can significantly affect the performance of your trading strategy. By using walk forward optimization, you can reduce the risk of overfitting and develop a robust and profitable trading strategy. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed, please like and share it with anyone else who might be interested. I'm also running a bootcamp on how to backtest, which will be going over applying data and just generally backtesting. Feel free to check it out in the link in the description to get a view of a free topic, and you can just watch it for free and see if it's something you'd like.